Oops, up off net. Hold on. Yeah, up off net. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz. Lord, don't. All right, man. Look, did you guys love the Super Bowl? I know the Super Bowl's over. I had to watch Tom Brady raise that trophy again. I mean, just winning Super Bowls as if it's just a regular season game. Hit the Tyson Bell for Tom Brady. I mean, this guy is obviously the GOAT. Whoops. All right, man. Look. First, I want to say this. This is too far away. That's what I want to say first. Bring me in here. Am I looking good? Hold on. Let me. I'm looking good. First, I want to say this. Yeah, dude. I mean, really, I feel sorry for Mahomes. I mean, the guy was just doing everything. He was playing crazy lights out, miracle type of football. It's just, things just weren't happening. Timing, guys were dropping balls. The defense was just right there. The referees, some of the I don't know, maybe the 11th, 12th men on the field. That first half, I wish they would have let the players play the game a little bit more. But man, just fantastic for Tom Brady. You can't keep making excuses for the guy. The guy is just the GOAT. It's at a point, if you were to make a fantasy football team, like of all the players ever, and you had to choose your quarterback, if you don't choose Tom Brady, basically you're just trying to be different. To keep it real, dude, Tom Brady, he's the best one. Love you, ShowBizz. Up off net. Happy Super Bowl. Fantastic. I had no stress. You guys know my team is the New Orleans Saints. So we lost, and it's something, you want to go all the way, but to have a stressful playoffs, sometimes it's just relieving when you're not in a big game with the team and you can just enjoy the sport. It's just something else. Brady Bunch. Yeah. Fun fact, I remember when he got drafted, they played the Brady Bunch song when they were talking about him. I'll never forget that. They were kind of making fun of him. The best quarterback. Yeah. Hey, ShowBizz, you should do call-ins. Not really. I've seen call-ins really go bad. Okay. There's a certain, I have a certain brand. I have a certain way that I really want to do my podcast and do my show. I don't want it to be like a thing where a bunch of people call in and start saying certain things that's kind of like way off, and then I have arguments, and I just want I know I can control the landscape, the atmosphere, and the feeling of my show. So that's why I really seen people pull their butt hanging out there. Like I've seen bizarre things on call-ins, man, and I just want to keep it. It's a family friendly show. And I just want to keep it right. I want to keep it right. What else I can do? Bro, Biz, I'm a pizza delivery guy, and I had to work today. No! You know what? I always feel sorry for you guys, especially during the Super Bowl, and I order a pizza, and I don't even want to answer the door. That's how good the game is, but you definitely don't. You're delivering the pizza. Forget about me. Yeah, that's just terrible. Someone calls in and says something racist. Yeah, that's terrible. What else we got? Hard to hate on a winner. Yeah, it's hard to hate on a winner. Absolutely. Biz, who is the greatest athlete of all time? You mean as far as accomplishments? The greatest? Muhammad Ali, probably. Hit the Tyson Bell. Muhammad Ali, how he affected the world, and Muhammad Ali. After that is on Michael Jordan, Babe Ruth, Tom Brady. You got to start throwing Tom Brady in there. Let's see. Brady's greater than Jordan. It all depends on what you like. We got 300 people in here. I got to kind of start the show. Bo Jackson, when you talking about athleticism, I don't think when they asked who's the greatest athlete, I didn't think they meant who's the most athletic human being. The most athletic human being I've ever seen. There's a lot of them, and Bo Jackson is very high up there as far as probably the most, when you say strength, speed, but I don't think that's what they meant. I think they meant greatest athlete, accomplishments, doing things. It certainly wouldn't be Bo Jackson. He didn't do enough, that he got injured in his prime. Jesse Owens. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, Jesse Owens, stuff like that. Let me see what else we got. Jordan never lost a championship. No, he never lost a championship. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's fantastic. I don't know. Going to the championship 10 times and winning 7, that's not bad. If you just talk about how many you win, I mean, going to 10 championships is good too. You know what I mean? Is that going to 10 is that's pretty good, right? So that's not bad. What else we got? Especially when it's a different sport. Okay. Football is just one of those things, man. It's the difficulty is crazy. When you talk about playing outside, the weather, so many people on the field, the physicality behind it, you can't chill on the football field. So yeah, it's really up to what you guys like. If someone said Brady, if someone said Jordan, I mean, it would make me angry either way. Mark Breland is savage right now. Well, all right, man. That's our biz. You want some punch fight sound effects? yeah. Send me some. Email me some. John Jones. All right, so man, look. Let's talk about it. We got everybody here. I didn't expect so many people in here so fast. That's great. Everybody hit the like button, please. We got 400 people in here, only 78 likes. We got to do better with that. Like when you guys come in, hit the like button. Let's get this thing busy, okay? Bill Russell, right? DJ for real. Bill Russell, hit the Tyson bell. Great Super Bowl. Are we going to talk boxing? I'm there. That's what we're talking right now. So, wait, hold on. Hey, Biz, what are your thoughts on boxers, ducks? There should be a phase 4 between Lopez, Haney, Garcia, and Davis. There is a Fab 4. There is. And when you say, what are your thoughts on boxers, ducks? I think people don't know what a duck is. I think people want ducking to be a thing. And really it's a personal thing. Ducking is up to the fan, and it's up to that particular fan. So if, let's say, you don't want AJ and Fury to fight, and I'm one of those boxing fans, this is a great example. I'm one of those boxing fans where fighting undisputed is the point. Fighting anybody else, that is nothing compared to becoming undisputed heavyweight, especially if we haven't seen that in years, 20 years, whatever it is. Fighting for undisputed lineal champion, that is the thing. If you don't do that, that's ducking. I mean, if there's anything, for me personally, becoming undisputed heavyweight champion, that is the goal. So, but there are people who love Wilder so much that if you don't fight him and that's your baby, like Wilder's my king, if you don't fight Wilder, you're ducking. But I'm fighting for undisputed. No, you're not fighting who I want you to fight. So ducking is up to the fan. If it's your favorite, you love Haney. Lomachenko fought for undisputed against Teofimo. No, Haney. Who did Haney fight? Anybody in the top 15? No, but I love him. You see what I'm saying? So ducking has now become defined by the fan who loves the guy, right? So, I mean, it's a sad thing, but that's what's going on now. What else we got? Brady can't touch Jordan. QBs don't play defense. So that means football players can't touch basketball players. At that point, I can't agree with you at all. What else we got? This is so true. Absolutely. Breland said a lot of things, but wasn't it his job to teach Wilder these things? Well, T, the thing is, he tried to, which is why he got fired. Think about it. If you can't teach somebody who doesn't want to be taught, all right? You have somebody, it's easy for us to sit down, T, like I said, away from the situation, don't know the environment, all right? It's just like, remember when Kanye West said that slaves wanted to be slaves? He never been a slave before. If you didn't want to be a slave, why didn't you just kill your slave master and leave? Well, it's easy to say that centuries removed from the situation. It's just like us saying, well, wait, isn't it up to Mark Breland to teach him? Well, think about why Jay Diaz has a job and Mark Breland doesn't. Mark Breland did something that Wilder wanted him not to do. So he threw in the towel. Fired. So you see what happens? It's like I had to push Wilder as far as he wanted to be pushed. And Wilder doesn't want to jump rope. He doesn't want to speed back, according to Breland. And Breland's just kind of there. He's trying to get into he was Wilder's coach since the Olympics. You know, the bigger Wilder got, the worse he kind of got. He stopped doing all the other things that he was doing before when he was hungry. And Mark Breland is trying to hang with him. I've been with you since the beginning. Plus, you're kind of my claim to fame. Mark Breland, you know, hey, if I make you a champion, 10 title defenses, where we are successful, it is 10 title defenses. That's more a feather in my cap. I can kind of start marketing myself and leveraging that, what I've done with Wilder, to other people. For other people, maybe work with them a little bit better, maybe get a different prospect, a young guy who's, you know, got long reach, got power, you know, a Tommy Hearns type of guy. They'll look at me first after what I did with Wilder. So you kind of got to think. It's kind of like, you know, people who work at a job, they don't like working, but they have a plan. Like, look, I got to do what I don't want to do to be where I want to be. You don't really know all the things that, okay, I couldn't teach him. He wasn't accepting it, but I still got to hang in there. And as soon as he tried to save his life, okay, so it's like, look, I see you getting beat up in a corner. That's one thing. Another thing, you're saying that he got one loose glove and one tight glove with no cushion in it, with metal plates in it, you know, metal egg weights in it, and he's denting your skull with every punch. I want to save your life. You're fired. So, you know, it's a very difficult, you know, thing here. It's easy to just, you know, just say stuff from the outside. We really don't know everything that's in play. So when we think about all of these situations, we got to try to think about everything. Mark Breland's a smart guy. Wilder's a smart guy. There must be a reason why this was going on for as long as it was. You know, you have, just to help you out in this, the people who keep saying rip Joe Rogan, don't play with death. We had enough great people die in 2020. It's not, we shouldn't joke about it. You know what I mean? People, we just lost Leon Spinks. To toy around with somebody's like, that's really not a joke, saying that people died. Okay, that's not really cool, especially now how fragile life is and how people are going out. You know, it's just not really that cool. That's really evil. You're an evil person by playing that kind of joke. I'm not really down with it. But if you're in a relationship, all right, and you're trying to date this girl, you're trying to hang in there, before you know, it's like, I should have dropped her 2 years ago. Yeah, why didn't you just leave her 2 years ago? It wasn't, I didn't know I wanted to leave her 2 years ago. But looking back, I should have left her 2 years ago. It's one of those things, man. Just, you know, a little common sense, T. A little common sense. What else we got? Preach, bro. Yeah, what's popping? What's going on with you? For real, that needs to stop. It does. How do you teach a person who believes they only got to be perfect 2 seconds? Right. How can you teach a person to make these changes that you see will help them further down the road when they're successful with doing what they want to do now? Hey, man, you got to come into the gym. It doesn't matter, bro. I'm just going to stand in one spot and throw my right hand. I'm going to knock him out. Dude, that's not going to work all the time. Feel what I'm saying? But, you know, it's kind of like your kid. That's how it is. What else we got? Leaving isn't easy. Not always. ShowBizz, I see you with the fade. Oh, man, thanks, brother. Yeah, thanks. So here's the thing. Hold on. You can bring a horse to the well, can't make them drink it. Yeah, hit the Tyson bell. And that's the energy drink. 0 calories, 0 sugar. So, hey, my man tried to play with me dying. So can we that's really not cool, man. My family will really hate you for that. My kids, my wife, my mom, my brother. That's not cool. So I'm gonna get rid of you forever. That's not cool. We had a touchy situation, you know, maybe 2 years ago. So that's not cool. That's not cool. Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, okay. So Mark Breland. We're going to talk about Mark Breland. We're going to talk a little bit about Javante Tank and everything that, was going on with Brian Norman Jr., stuff like that. Oh, I do want to say this, though. Shout out to everybody over the past couple days that's been reaching out to me. Definitely my show business partners, but shout out to many sources, many people who are in the boxing world who are just being very just caring when speaking to me about certain things, and information and patience, and really showing that you care about what I put out there, that you care about just boxing, period, and that you think that I'm important for the sport. So that's great. Hit the Tyson bell for all of you. Also, so let's talk about what Mark Breland said. So look, I was trying to think of, we all know what people who criticize Wilder and Wilder haters. We all know how you feel about the Mark Breland interview, where Mark Breland said, if you don't know, Mark Breland saying Wilder is done. Wilder doesn't have a great jab, a good jab even. All those things about Wilder. Wilder was lazy, working out. All those things. Anybody who's a Wilder hater or who criticizes Wilder is going to applaud those things. Hit the Tyson bell. I know that, but what I was trying to do is think about, what would someone who loved Wilder think about those things that Mark Breland had to say? And I would think that you guys would see him as a hater, see Mark Breland as a hater. Say, why would he? Because when I saw the interview, Mark Breland was actually on a UK platform. So it's kind of like, I can only think that Wilder fans would probably call him a coon, a sellout. If you disagree with Wilder, you're definitely not black. I know. I've learned that. And the double standard. I know when I hold up, you're the truth. Hit the Tyson bell. Absolutely. I know when I was talking about Brian Norman Jr., and I'm like, hey man, I'm hearing that he beat Javante Tank Davis. Let me hear from them. I was wrong. And when I gave him the platform, and Brian Norman Jr., come to find out he's a likable guy. Many of you guys like him, see him as a gladiator, hard worker, see him as a respectable and respectful gentleman. It's like, oh, I heard him out, found out the young brother ain't that bad. He's actually a good dude. But over time, it's kind of like a lot of Javante Tank Davis's fans weren't being fair. Javante Tank Davis is very good at exposing sparring when he's on the winning side of things. And now that he's been exposed as someone who lost in sparring, it's like, hey, what happened to what happens in sparring stays in sparring. It's like, well, how about for Javante? Nah, he can do whatever he wants. I'm noticing that. So when I think of, so now you have to think about heavy fans of a fighter. So when you think about Deontay Wilder, think about Mark Breland and what happened there. I'm pretty sure Wilder fans are going to say Mark Breland is hating, and why would he throw Wilder under the bus? Now, let me ask, is that how you guys feel, Wilder fans? Do you guys feel that Mark Breland is hating and he shouldn't be throwing Wilder under the bus? Let's see what y'all have to say. Mark Breland is the B word for doing that. Okay, so let me ask you this. Dog, his name is so Good Times. I'm Evan, JJ Evans, Good Times 1. You think Mark Breland is the B word for doing that? Everybody who feels that way, say yes if you agree with them. I just want to see what the war room is talking about. I just want to see how the war room is looking. Love the sport, not only one boxer. Absolutely. Mark is a capper. What happened? Yes, no, yes, no, no, yes, no. Stop being emotional. No, 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 no. Yes, kinda. Okay, let me ask you this. Now, hold on. Okay, so let me ask you this. Mark Breland, do you think that, okay, let me ask you this. Do you think that Mark Breland poisoned his water? Because from Mark Breland's point of view, he said he doesn't even handle the water, and he wouldn't do that to him. He cared about Wilder, safety. Mark Breland said he's just not about that. So if you're Mark Breland and somebody is trying to ruin your name, a guy that you cared for, that you tried to train and you helped develop into a 10-time defending champion, if that guy tries to ruin your career, he kicks you from the team and then stomps on your name, should you love him with respect after totally disrespecting you? I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. I mean, man, I'm not a Wilder fan, but hearing that from somebody that used to be your trainer is poor taste me. And if I'm a up and coming boxer, I'm not going to work with him. Just keep it 100. But Eli, really? So Eli, let's say you have a woman and the woman says that you have sex with 3-year-old boys. And she tells everybody, you've had sex with 3-year-old boys. You raped 3-year-old boys. Let's just say that. And she tells the whole town that. Would you go public and say, I don't, and that B is crazy? And to go further, if you do that, if you do say that, would you expect people to say, oh, man, you shouldn't talk to her like that for ruining your name and saying that you're a pedophile that messed with 3-year-old boys? You should. Why would you do something like that? You're a B. You're wrong. Let me just ask you, Eli. Thor's brother. Breland has been quiet long enough. It's about time. Absolutely. Let me just ask you, what do you think? Sue her. What if you don't want to sue her? What if you don't want to damage her? You just want to make sure that your name is preserved. You're not trying to damage her. You're just trying to say, I don't do that. Are you wrong for saying you don't do that? Two wrongs don't make a right. DJ, for real. But how is he wrong for saying, I don't do that? DJ, for real, did you see the interview? In the interview, he said, I'm going to leave it like that. He wasn't trying to diss Wilder much at all. When they were like, hey, Wilder does this wrong, does that wrong. They kept digging. He finally said, he doesn't have a great jab. He doesn't. You got me, bro. Yeah, low key, come on. I know y'all love Wilder, but can y'all just be reasonable? Can you be reasonable people? And I know how you are attached to Wilder, but can you try to, okay, let me put myself in Breland's shoes. Are you capable of doing that? Are you capable? Just asking. Are you capable? And let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Is Wilder the only black person out of the two? Can Mark Breland be black and take up for himself? Is that possible? I'm talking to my black Wilder fans here. Can Mark Breland take up for himself and still be a black man? Or is Wilder the only black person here? The only true black person here? Let me ask you. I just want that to be defined. Hold on. Wilder was the first pointing fingers. Mark is now addressing the accusations. Right. Mark was left outside the locker room crying. I know about that. Hit the Tyson bell. I know all about that. I just never share that because that's not my personal story to share. Y'all hit the like button. Biz, the GOAT of this boxing talk. Hit the Tyson bell. Nice one, bam, bam. Don't know. I don't see color. I mean, you should see color because we're different colors. It's just respect it. You know what I mean? You can see a white person. You can see a black person. You can see, hey, that person is, I don't know, is a brown person. But you can see it. Just respect it. That's all. It's okay to see color. You should see color. I do. I see when I see a white person. Hello, it's a white person. There's a black dude right there. But I respect it. When I watch, I just respect it. I'm not afraid to see color. I just don't disrespect. I'm not a racist. Of course, both Breland and Wilder are black. Absolutely. Let's see. Let's see what Thor's brother has to say. I mean, at the same time, Mark should have just let it go. We all know Wilder a liar. It's just Wilder fans who don't believe it. Well, here's the thing. Oh, Chance, thank you so much for the super chat. But here's the thing. You don't know what he's going through. I'm saying being negative back is not a good thing. But DJ, for real, is it being negative to take up for yourself? Right? Was it when the guy said rip ShowBizz, was it negative for me to take up for myself and say, hey man, that's evil to say that? Is that me being negative? I banned him. He's no longer could be on my chats. Is that negative of me? Somebody wants me dead. Is that negative for me to say, hey, that's mean? You're mean. Is that me being negative? Did you guys really watch Mark Breland's interview? Mark Breland is a fighter. Hit him. He'll hit back. Hit the Tyson bear. I feel you with that. As a trainer, he wouldn't do nothing like that. Spike water. He has nothing to gain from absolutely not. Absolutely not. Hit the Tyson bear. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, homie. Yeah, man. Brady did it again. Brady did it again. I'm not saying he was being negative. I'm just saying in general. Oh, okay, yeah. But let's talk about, and I hear you on that, but let's talk about Mark Breland specifically. We're talking about this situation right here. Mark Breland and Deontay Wilder. Okay, in general, there's a lot of things, that's really, but this specific situation, all right? Now look. I know hold on, Nicholas King. Wilder is one of those family members you give advice to and say, yeah, I know already. Right. But when it goes wrong, they blame you first. Not, yeah. I've seen that happen. Not in my personal family, but I've seen that happen to, other people, their brothers or their sisters or whatever. You told them this, it falls apart for them. And they say, why didn't you? You know what I mean? So hit the Tyson bell. I know what that is. I know what that's about. Let's see. So here's the thing. Wait, Breland made a good point. JD does not know anything about boxing, but in the locker room watching Fury get taped up. But here's my thing. JDs don't know anything about boxing. He was watching the gloves. And I just want to ask all of you Wilder fans who hate Mark Breland right now. And, people say, hey, he shouldn't have responded. He should have kept it cool. And like I said, you don't know what Mark Breland is going through right now. There's Wilder fans flooding him, right? I want you to die. I wish you died. Talking to Mark Breland. He's getting it over and over again. He tried being quiet. Die, Mark. Die. I hope your family dies. He's just like, you know what? Let me speak my piece. He should have been quiet. It's easy for you to say. Every time you step outside, every time you open your phone, every time you do anything, someone is hitting you with death threats. Can you just keep it cool? Or do you say, let me show you who I am? It's just like Brian Norman Jr. when I brought him onto this platform. When you first heard that Brian Norman Jr. got the best of Gervonta Tank Davis, it was immediately cap. He's capping. It was immediately he's clout chasing. But then once he spoke, people start saying, hey, I like this dude. This dude isn't bad. This dude isn't bad. You had people who came in my comments and said, ShowBizz for adult. You try to tear up black fighters. Found out Brian Norman Jr. was a black man. A black man. It was like, oh, okay. You know, he had to show up. He had to show up, speak his piece, and people say, oh, that's who you are. So I think Mark Breland did the right thing to speak his piece. The question is, we have a lot of questions though. The platform, okay, that Mark Breland was on. He was on a UK platform. And do you think he should be criticized for that? Do you think he should be criticized for being on a UK platform? I don't know why they really man, they really be blocking what you say. Nope, you should be able to speak your truth. Absolutely. Hit the Tyson bell. No. Preach. No. That's where I find fault. We have this. Heck no. It doesn't matter. Most people genuinely know F all about boxing. Not sure. I think the real thing is that somebody had to been in Wilder's ear, because how do you just fire somebody like that? This might have been an inside job. Yeah, inside Thor's brother. It was Deontay Wilder himself. Deontay Wilder wanted him gone as soon as he stopped the fight. From my understanding, the fans in the stadium didn't like him stopping the fight, right? As soon as he stopped the fight, he wanted him gone. He wanted to go out on his shield. I think that was Wilder. I think it was Wilder. And here's the thing, and I want to ask you guys, Nosegate, yeah, we'll get on that in a minute. And I want to ask you guys about Mark Breland. How I feel about Mark Breland being on a UK platform is this. I saw a video, and I kind of forget what video it was. Somebody posted a video of what's his name? Sugar Hill. I don't know if he was doing I guess he was. I don't know if he was on his live stream or his channel. I don't know. But all I know is a guy called in and said, I wanted you to die in an airplane crash or blow up. Somebody said I wanted you to blow up or something like that. Okay. The hate for this man, right? I don't blame Mark Breland for, if he's going to speak his piece, be somewhere where he doesn't feel too threatened with his life, right? So I don't mind him being somewhere where it's a platform where he feels safe enough to actually be respected with positive vibes to say what he has to say. Because who knows? Somebody will want you to blow up in an airplane accident. It's whatever they said. Something like that. It was crazy though. So, let's see. Hey, everybody, please hit the like button. I got 313 likes. Please, let's get the likes up. That's right, Biz. Yeah, absolutely. So I do understand him speaking his piece. I do understand him being on a platform where he felt safe to speak his piece. But I have a question to allow Wilder. And this is all about Mark Breland. All right, right now, this is just all about Mark Breland. How many of you feel that Mark Breland spiked his water? How many of you just know Mark Breland did it? If you feel that Deontay Wilder's water was spiked, why are you certain that it's Mark Breland? Why are you Mark Breland? JD's handled the water and Mark Breland didn't. Why are you sure that it's Mark Breland? Absolutely not. No. Anything can happen anywhere. But why would you be certain that it's Mark Breland? No way. My man said JD's. No. So my question is, if that's the case, why all Wilder fans are attacking Mark Breland and not attacking JD's? My question is this. I'm not against JD's whatsoever. I don't know JD's. He's probably a fine individual. I'm just asking Wilder fans, for Wilder fans, especially to this day, pro-black Wilder fans, to this day, Wilder fans, why is all of the attack towards the brother, Mark Breland? But it's the Glovegate scandal that you put most of your weight on when it comes to Tyson Fury being victorious. If you think it's the Glovegate scandal, if it's the gloves that made him victorious and not spiked water, why are you, whoa, Mark Breland is, he ain't this, he ain't that. Get Mark Breland out of here. Wilder, you were right. And he kept JD's. Why is the attack on Mark Breland? I'm asking, even from your perspective, and all of you who calls me a sellout, call me a coon for criticizing Wilder's excuses. So you know who you are, the till this day people. Why are you throwing the brother under the bus when the Glovegate scandal is what you're worried about the most? I'm just asking on that level. I just want to know on that level. That's the part that always confused me. It's not consistent. Because it's more exciting to blame Mark Breland. Wow. You ain't no sellout bit. No, I know I'm not. Oh, I know I'm not. But I'm not defending myself saying if I'm a sellout or not. I'm asking you who you are. Y'all who believe that there's a certain crop of people that don't just like Wilder because Wilder he is the black man of superior black. He's Wakanda. He is, when you look up black in the dictionary, it's Wilder. And anybody who criticizes him don't fit the bill as black. Those people, why throw Mark Breland under the bus? Why is the attack not on JD's? Egg-shaped form. You real biz. Oh, most definitely. As real as as I can be, right? Until I'm checked, and then it's like, oh, I wasn't being real. But until then, boxing for dummies. Keep doing your thing, biz. Thank you so much. Because it came from Wilder's mouth. Oh, okay. Rip Leon Spinks, absolutely. Okay. Making people think. I just always wanted to know. Because if the Glovegate scandal is the thing, then y'all should be pressuring Wilder on JD's. Wilder, what's up with JD's? He watched the gloves get wrapped. And Wilder said, hey, I gave him a talking or two. And it's kind of like, so y'all good? Water Spike, I would be insulted by the question. It's Tyson Bell. Especially when Wilder passed all the drug tests before and after the fight. Right? So, Mark Breland said a few other things. When Mark Breland said that Wilder was done, I'm not sure about that. That was the one thing that I wasn't sure about. Maybe some of that, and no disrespect to you, Mark Breland, if you're watching, maybe some of that was just anger. I can't imagine you liking Wilder right now. Wilder has, if there's a list, he's on that list. All right. If you have a list, he would have to be. I know he would be for me. He would be for anybody who, if you're trying to destroy me, I don't like you. Right. So maybe some of that you're done was look, I'm done. You try to say I'm done. Know what? You're done. Maybe and that I can't blame you. But if I want to just think like an analyst, I don't think Wilder's done. I don't think Wilder's done. I think if he is done, we'll find out for sure, because that means people saw the blueprint, followed it, Wilder didn't adjust, and now anybody can beat him. Now, if that's being the case, because I remember when I heard stories of when Muhammad Ali beat Big George Foreman in the Rumble of the Jungle. Muhammad Ali said, hey, here's the secret I always knew. You survive 5 rounds against George Foreman, you could possibly beat him. Hit Tyson Bell. He said the guy has no stamina. He never been past 5 rounds. You go past 5 rounds with him, you could possibly beat him. And then, he took L. Wilder is putting more energy to excuse. Jay! Jay. It's putting more energy into excuses than improving. It's a Tyson Bell. Yeah, as of right now, that seems to be the case. But I don't know. I really don't know what he's doing over there. He could be working hard, bro. Who knows? He could be on his Clubber Lane. Who knows? We don't know. We have no idea. He probably got, who knows? He probably talking to Derek James and they're working. I have no idea. But I hope he's working. I thought that Breland meant done in the same way Kovalev was done as the Crusher after SOG saga. Oh, Mike Tyson said boxing is 90% mental. Oh, if Wilder and Kovalev were mentally killed, then they're done. Oh, okay. Okay. Right. I think we're kind of saying the same thing. And so, like I said, if he is done, we'll find out, right? We'll find out if he's mentally done. We'll find out if people have made those adjustments and Wilder can adjust back. We'll find that out. As of right now, I don't know if hey, look, you guys know Black Sun, right? Black Sun, I've spoken to him. He like, man, that kid's gone. That kid's done. So there are people who feel that he's done. I'm not ready to say that yet because in my opinion, Tyson Fury didn't cheat, right? So that's my opinion. So in my opinion, Deontay Wilder lost to the number one heavyweight in the world. Look, hold on. When it comes to me and how I feel about Wilder, I didn't panic. I never panicked. When Wilder lost, I was telling my son, you saw me call it live. It's cool. Chill. He took an ass whooping. That's what you do. Right? Man, you thought this will work forever, and it didn't work. I never panicked. I never went, Wilder lost. I never panicked. I was like, he lost to the number one rated heavyweight in the world. Lineal champion, best heavyweight in the world. This dude is extremely difficult to beat. He's undefeated. He was whooping Wilder the first fight, but if it was for the knockdowns made it a draw. I mean, for me, he came in 270-something pounds, 6'9". He was almost a totally different weight division. If there was super heavyweight, he would have been in a different weight division. And he has skill and feints, and he had a great game plan, and Wilder didn't look good anyway. He was like rubbing his eyes, and I don't know if he was sick. That's right. He had no legs. He had the back-to-back training camp, so he was just, to me, he wasn't the best Wilder. And then Fury just beat him. I was like, he lost the number one rate. It's not like he lost to Povetkin. And I think Povetkin is extremely skilled, but it would have been different if Wilder, it's kind of like when AJ lost to Andy Ruiz. That was more of than Wilder losing to the number one rated heavyweight in the world. I didn't even come up with excuses. I was like, hey, he lost to the better guy, the best guy. Yeah, I wasn't tripping at all. Wilder only fought one world level opponent. And lost twice. Okay. When he lost, I had a draw. He can't step down now, so Breland most definitely wasn't wrong. He might be done with boxing. He can't step down. He could, you can work your way back. He can't help. He can't. Where is he going to go? He's coming off a loss, so he has to have. And plus, he's been gone. There's COVID. He has to have a tune-up fight. He has to step down in competition a little bit, at least from the best fighter in the world, best heavyweight in the world. Let me see. Should Wilder first fight back be a tune-up or another big name? Everyone jab the like button and subscribe and share the best boxing channel on YouTube. Hit the Tyson Bell. Yeah, I was all for him having, fighting the Prince and him having, Charles Martin, him having a tune-up. I'm all for that. When Tyson Fury was talking about fighting Caballero, I was like, that makes sense to me. They've been gone for a while. Coming off cold turkey, Fury taking on AJ, I'm like, man, Fury, that's huge. You coming right off the couch to fight AJ, who just fought Pulev. AJ's looking great. So I think Wilder, this long layoff, he's been gone for over a year. I don't know if he's been in camp or what. Still, that's different than a fight. And coming off a loss, he needs to get a guy, knock a guy out. Remember that he's bomb squad. He needs to fight like a Charles Martin. Boxing is 90% mental, like we were saying. He got to knock a guy out, get back on the square, then start working on little things, find that new trainer, do those things, then take on a name like an Andy Ruiz or something like that. Yeah, I think, and then fight the winner between AJ and Tyson Fury. That road seems very firm, clear, and it seems like the right thing to do. It really does. For the community, hit the Tyson bell. Andre Ward said something similar. Ward said something like Wilder was done or Wilder won't be the same. Ward and Breland are both gold medalists. Well, that was a good point. I know what you're saying, because when you said both of them are both gold, that they're both gold medalists, and Mark Breland was a world champion, and Andre Ward is a Hall of Famer. So I know what you're saying there, because I mean, as an analyst, I'm going to have to, if I'm listening to, if you guys going to listen to me or Mark Breland and Ward about boxing, please do us all a favor and listen to Ward and Mark Breland. They've been in there. So by all means, yeah, I know what you mean. That was a good point. I'm not going to not think for myself and say, yeah, Wilder's done because they said so. But you have to definitely consider what they're saying, because they know better. They know better. Let me see. Mark Breland, AJ has no jab. I'm confused. Yeah, Mark well, Mark Breland was definitely capping when he said that he would beat AJ, right? I think he knows how he would approach AJ if he had somebody to approach AJ for him, right? Hit the Tyson bell. But that's how he feels. Plus, he's thinking like a fighter. If you ask Mark Breland if he'll beat whoever, he'll probably say, yeah, you give me, a long enough training camp. You know what I mean? Fighters are like that. Fighters don't walk around talking about who can whoop their ass. That's not how fighters are, right? So I definitely got that. My thing is with Mark Breland, I think Show, you are the best in the business. Thank you so much. When it comes to Mark Breland, I think if you're not a Wilder fan, you're definitely a fan of Mark Breland's. You definitely looking at Mark Breland with some sort of empathy. You're empathetic towards Mark Breland in that situation. His name getting ran through the dirt. But my whole thing, what I hope is for Wilder fans to think as individuals and not brainchilds of another man. If you're a kid, then I understand. If you're a kid right now, you look up to Wilder as a man and you're a child, it's kind of hard. But if you're a man, if you're an operating man or woman, if you're an adult, like an operating functional adult individual, Zay, thank you so much. It'll be best if you use your own brain and not just be riding Wilder. And that's nothing against Wilder. It's just, if you're a fan of anybody, if you're a fan of Lomachenko, if you're a fan of Tyson Fury, I would encourage you to think as yourself as an individual and look at Mark Breland as a human being and say, hey, if I was in his shoes, I'll be doing the same thing. Actually, he's doing it more gracefully than me even. There are some of you that said, I'll sue him and hurt his family. Mark Breland ain't even trying to hurt his family and sue him, though. His career was affected by Wilder. You know what I mean? He did it more gracefully than that. He's not even trying to hurt his pockets and hurt his family and hurt the way he provides for his children, and his wife and all those things, and other people, cousins. I'm pretty sure Wilder is the center of like the economic just functioning of this family. Mark Breland isn't trying to negatively impact that. So if you are a Wilder fan, even, and if you look at the whole thing, hey, I have a problem with Glovegate. My problem should not really be with Mark Breland, since he had nothing to do with Glovegate, right? Even if you want to have a problem with Sugar Hill, JD's, with the referee, with the commission, Kenny Bayless, the commission, or everybody else who had the gloves, I can even understand that if you are a Glovegate person. And if you are a glove gate person, I don't see how you can have any ill will, anything other than empathy for Mark Breland. So that's pretty much my argument when it comes to Mark Breland and what he said about Deontay Wilder. Let me see what Thor's brother got to say. Wilder ain't. Hold up. Uh-oh. Wilder ain't fight nobody because who is there to fight in the heavyweight division? Ruiz is popping because of Joshua, man. I hate defending this guy. Ruiz is popping because of Joshua, but Ruiz is good. It's a Tyson Bale. He is good. You know what I mean? So I know popular is a thing when it comes to boxing nowadays, and that's bad. But a good fighting good, talented guys, Andy Ruiz is one of those guys. So he's a talented dude. Dillian White is a talented. I like Andy Ruiz over White. Povetkin's a talented dude. There are talented guys. You want Wilder to fight. So if he's going to fight, you will want him to fight more talented guys than he's been fighting. I think that's the argument. I want to see him fight, and I want him to fight more talented guys than he's been fighting. That's all. But I think his 10 title defenses is just a huge accomplishment. And people knock it, but I don't, because I look at Klitschko's run, and I'm like, how many did he have? 15, 20? I mean, gee, he was, his stuff was ridiculous. But I look at those guys, he defended them against a lot of those guys, no disrespect, but they weren't the best guys. Phil, thank you so much. But he did defend them against the best out there too, right? So Klitschko got busy. Biz hating. I'm hating on who? Well, that's for you can't. Your feelings. I'm sorry, man. When your feelings are real fragile, bro, it's gonna be hard to listen to me, man. Because even when I say the good things, you're not gonna pick up on them because your feelings just too soft. If I say something negative or what you think is negative towards Wilder, it's just gonna crush you, bro. And I can say, just like I said now, Deontay Wilder had a huge accomplishment with 10 title defenses, and it's like, I can't even hear that. You have to say nothing but good things about Wilder or else, bro, I am going to cry. I'm going to cry and be crushed and be all in your comments and just weep. And in that case, really, I cannot help you, bro. I really can't. Wilder's resume looks like a paper champ's resume. I never really got that. I never got that, right? I always thought AJ had the best resume. I really did. I always thought AJ had the best resume. But Tyson Fury's resume never blew my mind. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Tyson the Gypsy King Fury's resume never blew my mind. I looked at his resume and said, okay, man, he got Klitschko, he got Wilder, he got Chisora. He never blew my mind with his resume. Honestly, I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm sorry. He never really did. When I look at Wilder and his resume, he fought Wilder, Wilder fought him. You know what I mean? So then you have Wilder fought Ortiz, he fought Chisora. It's just Dominic Brazil, and he fought Stevens. Like, I've always looked at them and say, it's really the heavyweight division. It's just not that deep. You know what I mean? So that, especially when they were kind of like doing their thing. Wilder will not be champion because he needs to improve a whole lot, and not going to improve because he blamed everyone but himself. Well, then there you go. I hit the Tyson Bale. And that's why we say it's 90% mental. If he doesn't, that's why you guys got to understand. You got to understand. That's why I was ignoring Glovegate. Well, not ignoring it, debunking it so much. I was debunking Glovegate. Okay, we got almost 1,000 people in here, so I'm gonna let all you guys know this. I was debunking Glovegate as a fan of boxing, first and foremost. And then secondly, all right, respect to Tyson Fury for doing something great. And thirdly, as a fan of Wilder. I said this a million times. And the soft people in the war room, if you're soft, you won't get it. The competitors in the war room would totally get it. I wanted the best Wilder possible. I needed Wilder to get off his back and be better than he was before he fell. And I knew The only way to do that is for me to erase excuses, for Wilder to not lean on those excuses, and for Wilder to say, well, I need to work my jab. I need to work a left hook off my jab. I need to work on my footwork. I knew that because that was the only way to beat that guy. That was the only way to beat Fury. You could not beat Fury by going, they did this to me. I knew that. I knew that the day after the fight. What they fought, February 12th, so I forget what it was. I knew the morning after when I did my video right after and I started debunking, I knew early on that this can happen. What happened now Breland saying he's done. I knew that could as a Wilder fan, I knew this was going to happen if he did that. When everybody started coming up with, I'm like, no. If you're a Wilder fan, you're about to blow it. You're about to blow it. I knew that. Early on, I knew it. What did I miss? Wilder's resume looked like a paper champion. I read that one already. I'm a fan of Wilder and many other boxers, but Wilder was never very skilled, blessed with power. He was always one skilled opponent away from a loss. That could very well be the case. And it seemed like Mark Breland kind of knew that. He didn't have rhythm, wasn't doing his jump rope, and he didn't have the best jab in the world. And, well, I can see that. I think there was another super chat. Hold on real quick. Hold on. I saw another super chat somewhere, man. I saw another super chat somewhere. Oh my God. Did he? Hold on. You guys are in a war room going ham, and I didn't expect this. Here we go. Wilder only has one loss. Yep. Lomachenko has a loss. Lomachenko got 2 losses. Canelo has a loss. Joshua has a loss, but y'all say Wilder is done. Bingo. We got to stop doing that. Bing. Dinner time. Clap with the crotch shot. Clap with the crotch shot. That's why I said I never panic. He lost to the best in the world. You feel what I'm saying? Lomachenko didn't lose to the best. Well, Teofimo is now proven to be the best in the world. But I'm just saying, he lost to a guy who was unproven, at least, to the level that Lomachenko was. Right? Deontay Wilder lost to the lineal champion, #1 ranked heavyweight in the world by Ring Magazine. That's why I never panicked. If you're going to lose, he lost to the best and fought him twice. I never tripped. Never. I just saw everybody coming up with ghosts and goblins, and I'm debunking that. Because, hey, he lost. But to the best. Have pride. He lost. But to the best. He'll be back. Nobody wanted to see it that way. Biz beats Stavern for a belt, 10 title defenses, only 3 mandatories, and I just soft. There ain't no way I see Wilder on the same level as AJ or Fury. Resume wise, no, Ronald, he's not on the as AJ. No, skill wise, hell no. From both of them, he ain't as skillful as AJ or Fury. No. Can he beat AJ? Yeah. He can beat him. Can he beat Fury? It's proven that he can't. That's as of right. Well, if he works, the Wilder we know can't beat Fury. I think it's pretty much understood. The TKO, and then the first one, he was being out pointed. But if he makes changes, who knows? If he comes with something, now he can't beat him skill wise, but if he comes with something, unorthodox that Fury just can't really identify, like doing some Roy Jones type, just uses athleticism and throwing punches from weird angles. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe catch him because he showed that he could catch him. He dropped him twice in the first fight. So maybe, hey, when he's trying to smother me, all you need to do, Wilder, is like if you had Mark Breland with him or somebody, hey, Wilder, all you need to do, or Roy Jones, hey, step back with that jab. Bam. Don't just do this. Shoot it quicker, step back with it. You know what I mean? Create that space and then throw the right hand when he ain't ready for it. Don't let him feint you into keeping your right hand in your pocket. Who knows? Who knows what he could come up with? But I'm saying, resume-wise, no, you're right. You're right. He's now and skill-wise, he's not on Fury's level. I mean, you know, if you think resume-wise now, he's not on Fury level because Fury beat him, and then he had a draw the first time. Trying to get that Wilder. No, Wilder doesn't. He ain't cool with me. I never talk. I would never talk to Wilder. I'm assuming I would never talk to Wilder ever. I'm not really into trying to talk to Wilder. You know, I don't think he likes me. Why would I want to talk to somebody who doesn't like me? I have nothing against him, but why would I want to talk to him? You know, he doesn't like me. Let me tell you what I'm doing. I am, and this seems very strange to a lot of people. This seems very strange to a lot of people. You guys ready? You ready? This is what I'm doing. I am delivering analysis on the sport I love. The weirdest thing about me is this. People look at what I say and what I do and come with agenda because they are sneaky people and they only self-serve. They only serve themselves. They're egotistical and they're self-centered. And they just can't wrap their head around the fact that I love the sport so much, I'm trying to share it with other people. People who are like me, people who don't know, casuals. I like to analyze it because let me tell you a secret. I'll be doing this on my own anyway. Before I had a channel, I was sitting down looking at tape of old boxers talking to myself. Dude, think about it. I'm looking at a camera now. I'm not looking at anybody. I'm practically having a conversation with myself now. So, and I'm natural doing it. Why? I've been talking to myself audibly about boxing since I was 7 years old. ShowBizz is a natural. ShowBizz, you know, he can do this and that, man. You just seem so comfortable because I'm insane. I've been, man, boy, that's a great jab. Woo, you see that, boy? If I would have done that, I'm talking to my damn self. I'll be doing this anyway. Let me see. What's with Ward talking about coming back to fight AJ? Nah, he was playing. He was playing. He got a COVID fever. So he was playing. He don't want. He's know what here. He's crazy. He's crazy like every fighter. Anybody who goes in, Mike Tyson said it himself. Anybody who goes in there against a stranger and fight him like he hates them must be crazy. Tyson to say, man, I ain't know that guy, but I'll be thinking I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. Tyson said, you must be crazy. So, you know, that's just Ward being like, man, I got an itch. The only reason I come back is if I fought AJ for undisputed. 76,000 subscribers. Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Hit the Tyson bell. Let's get to 80. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. You wild, Biz. Thin line between crazy and genius. I swear. See a doctor. You ain't lying. You guys are my medicine. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd be crazy. All right, so look. Let's talk a little bit about we're over the hour, but it's okay. It's a holiday. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Let's talk a little bit about Nosegate. Do you guys like the videos? You guys like the videos and how I'm covering the sparring session with Gervonta Tank Davis and Norman Bryan Jr.? Are you guys enjoying yourselves? Let me know, yes or no. Please, Biz, comment F.A. Jogba versus Wilder. I think that's a good fight. I know F.A. has a problem with Wilder dressing up in African garb or something like that. I like that fight. I always like that fight. Always. Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And we wouldn't have known Brian Norman Jr. if he didn't have, it was Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's like I said, it's identical to Errol the True Spence when we heard about Adrian the Problem. Let me tell you something. I hope you guys know I was a big Adrian the Problem Broner fan. I was a huge Broner fan. I had to make sure I put that R on that Broner. I was a huge Broner fan. I was a huge Broner fan. You gotta put that R. Broner fan. You missed that R, boy, you'll go viral. I was a huge Broner fan. And and here's the thing. Pause. Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you this. I know there's a lot of you kids. There's a lot younger people in here. I have to make sure I keep that in mind. There's a lot of you kids who just love Gervonta Tank Davis. Okay, I get it. I remember when I was a big Broner fan. And I heard that Spence knocked him out in sparring. I didn't know who Spence was at all. I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't know what Errol Spence. It sounded like a dork. Think about it. You know who Errol Spence Jr. is now. But when I didn't know, all I knew was the name. I heard Errol Spence Jr. knocked out Broner, and he went in a stretcher. Like, I heard that. I was hearing crazy stuff that the paramedics picked him up and took him to the hospital. All right, they had an autopsy. And I'm sitting here like, Errol Spence? No. Broner, they asked Broner, I think it was Ellie Setback, interviewed Broner, and Broner said, man, that's what happened in sparring stays in sparring number one. But he was like, man, ain't nobody knocked me out. I believe Broner. 100% I believe Broner. 100% I believe Broner, right? And I'm like, that's what y'all get. Then I saw Floyd with a black eye. And they said at a press conference, hey, I see you got a little black eye. I heard you picked that up in sparring. Floyd said, yeah, I spar hard. I have tough sparring. Somebody else said, yeah, I heard it was that kid, Errol Spence. And I'm like, and I'll never forget, ShowBizz, the brother, got on the phone with me, called me, and was like, yo, ShowBizz, you heard about, this second time we heard about this Errol Spence. My brother looked him up and said, hey, man, that boy's good. Yo, I'm like, I didn't believe it. So I get it. You Tank fans, I get it. You hear Brian Norman Jr. controlled Tank for so many rounds. He beat Tank in sparring. And you're kind of like, that's cap. Why? Tank is so amazing. I don't know Brian Norman Jr. We'll see 5 years from now. That's all. We'll see if he's a flash in the pan, 15 minutes of fame, or if he's the truth. We'll see. 5 years from now. We had to see that with Errol Spence. Errol Spence, he passed the test. We'll see with Brian Norman Jr. But I covered it for that reason. I covered it for the excitement, to shed light on this new young prospect. And it is exciting. Oh, it's exciting. And another reason why is I'm one of those guys. If you don't respect what happens in sparring, stays in sparring, I'm talking about Gervonta Tank Davis, then all bets are off. He does it all the time. So I don't think Tank even care. When I see his tweets, Tank isn't saying, hey, what happens in sparring stays in sparring. Tank is like, that's not what I do. The fans are saying what happens in sparring stays in sparring. Tank is like, hey, I hurt my hand today. Hey, you see his nose? It look like a doorknob. hey, you gotta love Tank, dog. Jared Big Baby Anderson versus Big Baby Miller. That's funny. That's funny. Victory has defeated you. You gotta love Tank. Tank is so gully. Tank is like, bruh, I mean, yeah, you know, I'm an a-hole. Period. And if you're an a-hole back at me, so you can't help but to have respect for a guy like that. You know I do. You know, when I think of Tank, I'm like, if that's how he walked, that's how he talked, that's how he lives. As a fighter, I have nothing against him as a fighter. As a fighter, I have nothing against Tank Davis. It seems like that's how he moves. and you know what? Next time they spar, it's going to be a dog fight. And that's exciting for the community. Hit the Tyson Bear. Now, I wanted to say this too. My job here, right? Now, how many of you guys saw that I posted what I thought was a Photoshop picture? I thought it was a Photoshop picture of Brian Norman's nose. So I reported that it was a photo. I'm like, that looks Photoshop. I mean, because I'm looking at the other picture. I saw him that 2 days later, his nose was fine. Why would you do that? Right? You guys saw that, right? How many of you guys saw that? I think, yeah, you guys saw that because it's like it's still flying off the rails. Okay. I immediately, once I found out how that nose looked like that, I immediately said it wasn't Photoshop. I retracted it. Let me tell you why I retracted it. Let me tell you why I said I let you guys know as soon as I found out. I promise you, as soon as I was laying in the bed when I found out, I was looking through my emails. I got sources that always, and my sources were like, yo, we found the video. And it came from Scotty White's channel, World Combat Sports, came from his channel. And I'm like, that's exactly where they got it from. So I kept rewinding it and looking. I said, I see it. I see the image. I saw the guy in the back. I saw the nose do the thing. I'm like, no. The reason why I did that is because I am not trying to push an agenda. No matter what Tank fans believe, no matter what Wilder fans, I don't know why Tank and Wilder fans are the same. Well, no, I get it. They punch hard as hell. If you like knockouts, then you're a fan of Wilder and Tank. Never mind. I get it. Anywho, yeah, I can see how if you're a Wilder fan, you're a Tank fan. I can see that. Anyway, I'm not trying to push an agenda. I am trying to cover boxing and spread the truth. I don't care what the truth is. I don't, as long as we know what it is. I am not going to be responsible for bending the truth. So I didn't know I was bending the truth. Once I found out that my thought of it being Photoshop was incorrect, I am covering not only that it wasn't Photoshop, but this is the source where I got it from, and this is how it looked, and this is the exact part. Gervonta Tank Davis didn't Photoshop nothing. He busted his nose. Now, it wasn't as bad as it seemed, right? Because you kind of saw the shadows and how it was just like the perfect angle to make it look worse than what it was. It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't Photoshop. It wasn't Photoshop, regardless. So that's my point. Hit the Tyson Bear. I'm not pushing it. I don't have an agenda other than the truth. How Phil come when Anthony Joshua time Laura is. You got to be a real ShowBizz adult fan in this community. You got to be from the war room to understand that that comment right there. Biz don't like Wilder. I'm a big fan of Wilder. Actually. I really like Wilder. Why? Because I like brutal knockouts. Brutal knockouts are is very entertaining for me. When I know when he hits somebody and they go, I'm like, yo, that was fun to watch. Victor has defeated you. Do you see the next? Who do you see as the next American to capture the heavyweight title? I'm not even that. I'm not even Victory. I don't even care, bro. I'm not even that. I think Americans don't put out the best heavyweights and haven't been putting out the best heavyweights for a while because our athletes go to football and basketball here in the States. The bigger athletes go to football and basketball in the States. I don't care. I don't know. I really don't know. Andy Ruiz. I have no idea. I have no idea. But thanks for the question. But I don't know. I really don't know. What was I going to say? Jared Anderson, probably, but I don't know. Biz, what do you think about Mark Breland saying AJ has no jab? I thought that was a cap. Love Mark Breland to death, brother. Love you, brother, if you're watching. And my brother, you from the old school. So if you don't a cap, I think it was a lie, my brother. I think, well, I don't agree. I think AJ has developed a wonderful jab. I do. I really like his jab a lot. Now, wonderful, maybe that was too much. I think he definitely has one. He has an existing jab. I really believe so, especially for boxing today, right? For the landscape in the 90s, those guys, his jab probably sucked. But for right now, his jab is efficient. Right now, it's nice. It's nice. I was gonna say something else about. Oh, I want to say this too. Can Brian make 130, 135 like 154 arrow flow? No, I think the lowest Brian could go is 140, and I think that's where he should fight for now. But I want to say this about Brian before I go. We got 15 minutes. I want to say this because I now think we all knew that Gervonta was rocking his head. Brian said it himself. He said he didn't hurt me. He was hitting me. He was catching up to me. Brian said that himself. So I'm not shocked that he had some swelling around the nose. I'm not. That's what I didn't think if you're gonna fight Tank Davis, a two-time simultaneous 2-division world champion, if you're gonna fight him and how good he is, you're not going to fight him over 30 rounds and not get touched. Okay, that's just insane. So yeah, he got touched. But I still believe at the same time that he got the best of him in sparring. I believe so. Until otherwise, I believe Brian Norman Jr. got the best of him in sparring, and that's okay. I just like that. I just like that there's somebody else to be excited about. I remember when I first saw Virgil Ortiz, or when I first saw Boots. When I first saw Shakur Stevenson and when I first saw Devin Haney, I just remember saying, when I first saw Teofimo Lopez, I just remember being like, oh my God. I'm talking about after Tank, right? And you just start seeing these guys. It's like, oh my God, there's some talent, some young talent. And that is what got me excited about Brian Norman Jr. I'm like, it's a brand new 19, just turned 20. Young talent coming. Yeah. So that's what got me excited. We all know Tank is, for me, he's a pound for pound guy. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people think, hey man, you really disrespecting Josh Taylor right now. I probably am. Josh Taylor's probably number 10. But for me, man, when I'm looking at Tank, I'm like, those are Tank and Jermell Charlo are two guys that I think are pound for pound guys. And I think Jermell Charlo is high. I think Jermell Charlo is like a 8, maybe even 7. I think that's not high, but I'm just saying higher than, I don't think he's just stepped into pound. I think Jermell should be considered. He's almost undisputed. His one loss, he defended, with a knockout. He knocked out Tony Harrison, in a rivalry. And Tony Harrison hasn't been back in the ring or anything. Breland have talked bad about Wilder long before this. Yeah. He talked bad to a sensitive person, right? A sensitive person would say he talked bad. But it wasn't bad. It was criticism. Well, what Mark Breland said about Wilder before, he said it publicly. He said that guy has no skills. He said he needs to develop skills. He said this guy boxed I had more skills than him when I was 11. I remember that. He was very angry at Wilder for not listening. Wilder and Breland would try to teach him things, and Wilder was very rigid with Mark. So he couldn't get through to Wilder anyway. I think their relationship was bizarre anyway. But at the same time, Mark Breland did. I know my coach said that to me before in football. Like, hey, yo, you don't. I remember, what did he say about me? He said that I don't improvise. My coach said, man, as a running back, boy, you do not improvise at all. He was like, if I tell you to go here and that closes up, if it's not there, please get yards the best way you can. Don't just duck your head and keep driving up the offensive lineman's back. But that wasn't him talking bad about me. He wanted the best out of me. That's criticism. That's how you develop somebody. Sometimes it's tough love. But if you never competed, if you never been in sports, if you never been in combat sports, if you never really done those things, had the type of job where they're just on you like that, or you served in the army or anything like that as a soldier, if you haven't had that, you'll be like, he talked bad about Wilder. You wouldn't get it. You really wouldn't. You know what I mean? You wouldn't get it. But he had some very constructive criticism about Wilder before. ShowBizz, how much do you think they need Jensen Rosario? Oh, yeah. Jason Rosario to take that dive. I don't think he took a dive. I think he got jabbed in the stomach, got the wind knocked out of him. I think he was trying to win, and I think he was doing a good job. I don't think Jason Rosario is on the level of Jermell Charlo. I never thought he was. But if you hate Jermell Charlo, or if you don't know about getting punched and getting the wind knocked out of you, if you don't know, can identify what that is, and if you can't tell, then your brain goes to make believe. And people do that everywhere nowadays. You can look at Beyonce's baby and say, oh, that's CGI. I've heard that before. Oh, she didn't really have twins. Those are two cats wrapped into people. You know what I mean? Hey, I think I heard that Kanye West was a clone before. I mean, people just, they can't. You know what I mean? So, but if you understand, if you're just looking at a combat and you see a guy jab another guy in the stomach and he fall, he can't catch his air. It's like, wow, dude. First you're like, what's wrong with him? He's panicking. Then you realize he got the wind knocked out of him. And you look at the whole fight, you see how it was going. It's like, hey, Rosario is doing good. He just got caught nasty. It just happens. It happens. What else we got? I'm about to go in a minute. I'm leaving in 7 minutes. I'll be out at 1:30. Let me see. Fury scared. This is a guy who's ABN. Let's give ABN boxing some well needed attention. ABN boxing, yes, Biz. Yeah, you really need a lot of attention, bro. And like I said, it's been a year and you're still real angry about it. Can you at least say Fury fought him twice? Or is that make believe? Did they fight? Did they fight twice? Do I love Mark? Yeah, I love Mark. I love Wilder too. I love both those brothers. Let me ask you, did ABN boxing, did Fury and Wilder fight twice? Or did they never fight? I just want to see where your oh, he can't. Yeah, he couldn't answer the question. He just, all right. Yeah, you can't mess with him. What else we got? So tomorrow is my day off, dude. Tuesday I'll be back on. I'll do a shoot to jab on Tuesday. Every time on my day off, some crazy news happens. So we'll talk about upcoming fights. Oh, what we have to talk about is Usman versus Burns, UFC welterweight championship. We got to talk about that because I'm putting some major money down. All right, on BUSR.com. Go to BUSR.com/ShowBizz to place a bet on your favorite fights. I will be covering that fight this upcoming weekend. That is a fantastic fight, fantastic card. I really can't wait to cover that fight. I'm going to be all over it. I'm going to be putting some money down. Right now, I'm leaning towards Usman pretty heavy. I just hate when fighters fight somebody from their same team that they sparred with, and they know each other. That's when stuff get real scary. You know, Burns and Usman, they sparred together and they worked out together a lot. I'll bet Usyk beats Wilder. Salute Wilder fans though. Usyk beats. I can't say that, bro. I can't. I looked at Usyk against Chisora. You know, first I was wondering, but you know, nah. I think Wilder beats Usyk. I do. But if Usyk were to beat Wilder, but you do. There's a chance. There's a chance that Usyk is a great fighter, but not really the best heavyweight. Hey, you know how Lomachenko is a great fighter, but struggled at lightweight? He's not really the best lightweight. He's a fantastic fighter, though. You know how Floyd is a great fighter, but he struggled at 154? Every time Floyd was at 154, Oscar De La Hoya, Cotto, he struggled. There's a chance that Usyk is a great fighter, but kind of right above average heavyweight. There's a chance. All right, y'all, man. Thanks so much for showing up. ShowBizz, don't. I'll see you guys Tuesday. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, man. Hey, look, get ready for Monday. Boy. I'm out. Huh. Great. Hope you guys like the live stream. Pretty good, man.